Hi, everybody. Cody from The Way of the Void here. Just hoping that you know that this is just for entertainment purposes only. We're just trying to make you giggle a little bit. It's damn near designed so you can't learn anything from it. Just keep that in mind. It's just laughs, folks.
There is no other God. Satan killed him.
And we're back. What's going on? I'm Cody.
I'm Eric.
This is The Way of the Void. What's new?
Not much. I have about 25 pounds of Mexican food in me right now.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. How was it?
It was delicious. It was great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was.
I had a wet burrito.
I had a regular burrito. Mm-hmm. Nikki, what'd you have?
I had a regular burrito as well.
Nice. Is your mic on?
No.
No, it's not. Well, no, it has to be off if you're not going to talk.
He turned it on to not say anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
So remember when we had a audience member say that we pick on Nikki too much?
Yeah. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. I think,
Yeah, it's stuck with me.
yeah. I don't think we pick on him enough.
No.
Too much.
No.
No.
In fact, I would like that audience member to know that all of the pickings on that will go on in this episode is because of you.
Yeah.
You did this to Nikki.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
That'll teach you. Piping up. How come you get all the feedback? I'm just antisocial.
Yeah, you're just antisocial.
Fucking hermit. Nobody
Yeah.
even bothers.
Well, I just like pester everybody I know to like watch and listen to the podcast.
Well, I think I figured out pretty early on too that like I don't like I'm not made for it. Like
What?
So, oh, dude, I can't wait till we start getting comments and stuff.
Oh, yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
read all of them. I'm gonna fucking lose my shit.
Well, I remember one of the very first comments we got on, I think, when we posted one of the videos on YouTube, and
Yeah.
they're like, "Oh, it's a fun podcast, but the audio is a little jarring." And I'm like,
Yeah.
we're working on it.
Yeah. Everybody, calm down. Like, I'm not made for it.
Yeah.
This lady I work with, she came up and she had listened to one, and she was like, you know, your partner in crime over there, he talks pretty slow. And I was like, oh yeah, all right, let me text him that. And you just texted back, fuck you. I walk up to her desk, I was like, your criticism's been addressed.
Yeah, I do talk slow, but I don't know.
I can't wait. If it takes off, I'm gonna be a fucking neurotic mess. Who the fuck is Gopher Killer 68? How dare he say these things?
Yeah, it's funny because I often think about that because, you know, this is kind of a pseudo paranormal conspiracy.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's just two homies just
Yeah.
BSing, but
We're trying our best.
we're kind of like, obviously everything is themed around the paranormal.
Of course.
Because we love that shit. And it's just funny because, you know, we put these episodes out and then obviously we're kind of like, I'm not going to say that we're like a part of like the paranormal zeitgeist by any means, but when you kind of like look at everybody else doing
Yeah.
things and they have a very different take on it and a very serious take on it.
They do a lot of work.
They do a lot of work. There's a lot of investigating,
Right.
and not that I want to belittle any of that hard work that they do, but we're not going to do that.
No, it's boring as fuck.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's boring as fuck.
yeah,
You go read these books then if you want to.
yeah. And it's just funny because, you know, I like, you know, I like go, especially on Instagram, where I try to like, I'll go in and try to engage in like other
Yeah.
like paranormal podcasts and
Yeah.
stuff. And I'm just like, ooh, I'm like, we kind of just like made fun of ghost hunters for like 45 minutes. And I'm like, I hope they don't check out the fucking pod.
I get, you know, it felt more or less when we launched this little idea, it felt more or less like, how do we just get in a room and fucking shoot the shit?
Yeah.
for an hour and a half, and then this is the framework it happened to fall
Yeah.
into because we both love this shit.
Yeah. I love this shit, and I feel like it's kind of like, not that it's safe by any means, but dude, like honestly, like listening to two fucking dudes talk about, even though we do talk about movies and video games a lot, but I'm
Yeah.
just like, dude, like I'm so sick of like listening to fucking dudes complain about video games on like YouTube and stuff.
Really? Because I just went off on The Witcher.
Well, yeah, but that's just, we just pepper it in. But I just mean like we don't have like an entire show where like our entire existence is like dunking on Disney or like, you know, talking about how like the MCU fucking ruined Iron Man or some horse shit.
I'm trying to think of the last thing that I actually engaged with Disney on. Like, I'm trying to think of the last thing that I was like, that I even went to or even bothered. You know, like, remember when everybody got pissed about the mermaid? Couldn't care less.
Yeah.
I was never going to go see it
You know
to
what?
begin with.
You know what's funny? Like everybody was like super worked up about the mermaid, and then this last year I went to Disneyland with like my wife and mother-in-law and like brother-in-law and his whole family. Like it was a big family trip. We went to Disneyland for a few days.
Yeah.
And like the new Little Mermaid was like out like wandering around and stuff like that, and like there was like a ton of kids like just like gathered around her.
Well, yeah, it's an adult problem.
Yeah,
It's not the
exactly.
kids
Yeah,
don't
it's just like the
fucking
kids
know.
are like super stoked on it.
Yeah,
Don't
whatever.
give a rat's ass, and it's
Yeah.
just like
It's a new it's a new Disney thing.
I just think it's funny how many 35-year-old men like have an opinion about the Little Mermaid.
Well, it's because they're taking away all of our culture.
yeah.
You know, we're being replaced, Eric.
Yeah. Fuck, thank God.
I know, right? You know, I won't say it didn't come without some casualties. Like I used to like Star Wars shit, but I don't anymore. But
Yeah.
it could come back though. But I do find it funny. It is a very adult kind of problem with the Little Mermaid stuff. But I can't remember the last time I was like a Disney thing or even like one of their offshoots, like a Lucas thing. You know, that last Indiana Jones, I had no interest at all.
Well,
He was 80.
I also didn't see the last Indiana Jones, the one
one
from like
before that.
the one from the early 2000s.
Yeah, with the LaBeouf.
I don't give a fuck.
No.
Like
No,
I don't know.
it ended at number 3.
Indiana Jones is 3 movies.
Yeah, dude, we're done. Let's
Yeah.
move out. I mean, you
I
had
know.
Sean Connery in the
Yeah,
last one.
good for Harrison Ford. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like cashing those checks.
He was 80.
That's
I
obscene.
did the math, dude. He was like a toddler listening to the Japanese surrender on a ham radio because TV wasn't around.
I heard one of the crazy things about him though is that he didn't act in his first movie until he was like in his mid 30s.
Yeah, he was like a carpenter.
Yeah, he's a carpenter.
Like Jesus.
Yeah, so there's still hope for us.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I forget which one. What was his first?
I think it was American Graffiti.
Yeah.
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 A whole
Did he do Blade Runner before
hometown hero
Star Wars or after Star
Modesto,
Wars?
California.
What, Harrison Ford?
No, Lucas. He's from Modesto.
Oh yeah. That's right. All the like AT-ATs and stuff are like off of that architecture of the bridges.
Yeah.
Right.
Did you ever see that crazy movie his in the 70s with like all the cops with like chrome faces and stuff? It was like this. It was like this weird sci-fi movie. I forget what it's called, and it's just like I think it's like a bunch of numbers and stuff. But it's like
1138.
Oh, I've seen that.
yeah, it was a short.
I remember seeing it. At like
It was a short film that he made in like college, and then he
Right.
turned it into a Robert Duvall's in it, like a really young Robert
Right.
Duvall, and
Okay.
it's like some futuristic society where I think everybody's underground, and it's kind of like a 1984 where it's like
It's all nuked up
very
front.
like authoritarian government, and then like all the cops are like they're dressed like robot. I mean, like policemen with like the
Right.
police outfit and the like old school police hat, but they all have these like chrome faces.
That's
and
tight.
it's like really cool looking. It's like really like unsettling. Where it's like,
Cool.
yeah, it's like it's pretty cool.
I remember seeing it at Borders when Borders was downtown.
Yeah, I think I watched it as a kid on the Sci-Fi Channel. Dude, the Sci-Fi.
It was a very simple cover. It was just like a white cover that said 1138.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Cool.
I'm really excited for my topic.
What's your topic today?
My topic took me on a wild ride. It was like a 50-50 split on this one. My topic is haunted objects. Boy, howdy. It's like 50% of this
So
is obvious pure horse shit.
are we going to become ghost hunters?
You don't really have to. You can just go yard sailing if you want. Like, that's kind of the gist of this.
I think, oh man, I don't know where I put it. I guess this shows what kind of friend I am, but like, I think you made me a haunted doll.
I tried to.
Yeah.
It was one of my early, before I really got crafty. It
Yeah.
was one of my early attempts.
Whenever I find it, I'll take a picture of it. And
You
put
don't need to.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
It's cool looking though.
Yeah, I tried. It wasn't my best. I'll admit, it wasn't my best effort. It was always a little rushed. But I found the doll and it was too
As
good.
a man that makes dolls sometimes, I made that spooky cowboy up there.
Yeah.
So actually, I don't even know where the fuck I put it. It's somewhere around here. Is it there? Okay, yeah.
It's right there. The poncho. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Haunted objects are basically like, all right. So what we'll get into today is, of course, when we think of haunted objects, we're going to think about the dolls, which is it's. I'll tell you right now, probably horseshit. I'll let you know. They're all kind of a bit wacky. I'll get into some of them. Obviously, we'll start off with the ones we can get it out of the way. Annabelle.
The movie?
No, not the movie. The real one.
Isn't the real one like a raggedy?
Yeah.
Okay.
It leaves something to be desired.
Okay.
It's a raggedy
It's not
Annabelle.
as menacing looking.
No, that thing, yeah, but it's just, it's one of the big like cool gripes and like horror movies and stuff is just like, people, the doll is like the real doll is always going to be like way less
There's a haunted.
intimidating or
There's a haunted
scary.
real doll.
Yeah.
Color me intrigued.
There's a haunted everything doll. So this actually didn't get popular until the 1950s. Like we really don't have much about like haunted dolls from like the past and like, other, it's really American. It's really 1950s style. And it got big off of like shit like the Twilight Zone episode called Living Doll. Like after that, you get a bunch of these popping off, but there's like fucking 20 of them. There's even a haunted Barbie, like a regular like Barbie from like the 80s.
It's haunted.
Yeah, dude, it's in like a temple in like the Philippines. They keep it in a temple and they think it has supernatural powers.
Fuck.
But it's like a fucking Malibu Barbie.
Is there pictures of it?
Yeah, you can look it up. Yeah,
I'll put it here.
yeah, yeah. So Annabelle really it goes back to Ed and Lorraine Warren, and I assume at some juncture I'll do an episode about them because they're fascinating fucking grifters.
Yeah, I love.
They're
What's
really good at it.
what's the movie series that they're like the
They're like all of that Conjuring, Annabelle,
okay.
The
It's-
Nun. They're
yeah.
all tied throughout that
yeah,
shit.
it's funny though, but they're like the Warrens, right?
Yeah.
and they're just like the biggest grifters.
Yeah, like I will say this, like they're pretty opportunistic, and it's pretty funny how like there's a story that goes along with Annabelle, especially the doll, because it was housed with them in their like Curiosities of Haunted Shit museum. And it was funny, like a bunch of these like journalists who've gone through it and stuff. Most of the time they go through it and then they come out and just fucking scathing reviews. Cause it's like, some dude from like the New York Times when they're at like their height will go through. And you can read all these articles where they come out and they're like, that was really nice, Ed. Nice to meet you, Lorraine. I know, you're psychic. Okay. And then the article comes out and it's like, it looks like this motherfucker went to a yard sale and just put everything in his basement. Like they don't hold back at all.
Damn.
And, they kept doing the interviews. This is Eddie Press is good press. But Annabelle, the story with her is that she was given to some nurses and the nurses experienced all of these paranormal events of it being pretty hateful. And I guess they had to invite the spirit into the doll, and the spirit tricked them and told them it was a dead girl named Annabelle. And in fact, according to the legend, it's actually a demon. Yeah. Yeah. The problem is there's zero corroboration of any of this. It all just comes from Ed Warren.
Okay.
All of it. We don't know the nurse's name. We don't know really the time period except for sometime before 1970 something, like 74, I think. when they came into possession of it. And it literally is just a Raggedy Ann doll in a glass case that says, like, do not open, or spooky stuff will happen, in a room full of like bric-a-brac. Anything you could, like, think of, they have like a haunted version of it.
Doesn't that one guy, the Ghost Hunters dude, doesn't he have like a haunted museum with a bunch of this shit?
Yeah, well, after I think Lorraine died a couple of years ago, like right before one of those Conjuring movies dropped.
Okay.
And when she died, it went to the kids, and then the kids kind of shut down the museum part of it. So he probably
Well, yeah, now they're getting that. They're getting that Hollywood money.
Yeah, dude, we don't need to do this shit anymore. But like all of those are kind of like that. They, you see these tragedies spring up, and then if the tragedy is weird enough or vile enough, like you can see Ed and Lorraine Warren will start circling around. Like Amityville, there was a family annihilation, right? That's like the story of Amityville.
Yeah.
The actual one.
Yeah,
the DeMeo family got killed by their son. They think maybe he was high. They think maybe his sister helped him. There's a lot of true crime stuff about it, but then that's what attracts the Warrens, is like this kind of tragedy. And then out of that, the house is haunted.
Okay.
And they write books.
Yeah, so then it kind of like turns into like a legend.
Yeah.
Like a paranormal legend.
And they're all pretty much kind of like that when it comes to the dolls. There's Robert. He's one of my favorites. He's in the Florida Keys. We're going back down to my favorite state. And Robert used to belong to an artist named Robert Eugene Otto. And he's a little sailor. Yeah, dude.
He's a little sailor boy?
He's a little sailor boy. So Robert was gifted, the artist was gifted this doll when he was a little boy. That's how the story goes. And he had it all his life and just kept it around his house and stuff. But the clothes it's wearing are the clothes that Robert Eugene Otto, the artist, he wore when he was a little boy. You remember when they, like, back in the day, they used to dress him up like little sailors? That's what the doll wears now. So they say after Robert Eugene Otto passed away, the doll fucking came to life, baby. And it's got a pretty cool little modus operandi. So you go down to the Florida Keys, and there's this roadside kind of attraction, a little haunted museum. I'm sure it's right up our alley. They probably sell T-shirts. It's Florida, so they'll come in my size. It's going to be sick. Yeah, dude. Mountain Dew boys down there. Big boys. And you can go up to Robert, and if you're polite, Robert's chill. But,
so if you make a donation.
Pretty much, yeah. But if you're not polite, bad things can happen, according to the legend. And I just love it because this is Florida and this is America. Mm-hmm. So you can type it into YouTube, and there's a bunch of people going up and they flip this thing off. They tell it, suck my dick, all this crazy shit. And then this legend will grow, because then, my personal take on it is the people that are taking time out of their day to go and fucking tell the inanimate doll to suck a dick. Like they're kind of like, misfortunes happen to this person.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
All right. But it's been attributed to losing jobs, divorces, broken bones, like multiple different injuries. I don't think any deaths, but who knows? None of this can be corroborated, even with Robert. Mm-hmm. Like you could have some like eyewitness stuff, but any of that is like, I'll go YouTube the eyewitnesses, and then you'll be like, oh, okay, I see what he means.
Yeah.
This person can't be trusted. So after you get out of like Robert and Annabelle, they kind of start getting more and more wacky. Like there's the Doll Island, which I'm pretty sure is like a pedophile shrine. Like,
is that one in Mexico?
That's in Mexico.
Okay, yeah. That's super creepy.
Well, the story is even creepier.
Okay.
So the story is there was a family who had an uncle, and the uncle was having some problems, so he decided to isolate himself on this island in this it's like kind of like the Everglades, but it's in Mexico, and so it's but basically a bunch of waterways is how you get around. You have to go to it by boat and stuff. And then the uncle, while he was out there trying to sort his noodle out, he found a dead little girl, floating around. Yeah, that's the face I made when I got told the story too. I was like, oh, he found it? Okay. He found it. Pretty sure he probably took it with him. Because then after that, he was like, I need to start collecting dolls to ward off her spirit, which is trying to get me.
Oh, I wonder why it's trying to get him.
Yeah. And then the story goes that uncle passed away in the same spot that he found the dead little girl. You know, I'm like, well, all right, if I'm taking this just at face value, I'm pretty sure this dude, this fucking crazy dude, murdered a little girl out on an island and then started
and they made a shrine,
having a mental break and started hanging doll heads everywhere. And then being the cool fucking species we are, we're like, let's help. And we just brought more doll heads.
Okay. Fantastic.
Yeah, do you need someone to talk to? Fuck that. No. Get him more doll heads. This will keep him busy. Fucking Uncle Larry out there on his island.
Pictures of that tree are fucking creepy.
Yeah, it stayed in the. I think it stayed in the family, and you can go there during the day. You can't go at night. They say at night it's too dangerous.
Too dangerous.
Yeah, because of the haunted doll heads, dude.
I wouldn't want to go there
the
at night.
protection spell kind of goes away or whatever, and the ghost of the little girl, who I'm sure had an awesome time with fucking Uncle fucking Juan or whatever.
Fuck.
Yeah. But outside of like places, because I kind of consider that one more of a place than like a haunted object, but it's kind of just a haunted area that has a bunch of dolls. And outside of that, they just get wackier and more full of shit. But then I was feeling down on my luck because I was like, well, like most of these, if you fucking Google them, you realize within 10 minutes that they're complete shit. And then you get to paintings. And haunted paintings is a different fucking ball game. Haunted paintings are actually, this is the 50% of it that like, I was like, this is fucking creepy as shit. It's terrifying. It is terrifying. I'll start off. All right. Have you ever heard of a painting called Man Proposes, God Disposes?
No.
It was painted in the 1890s as an homage to a lost Arctic expedition, the Franklin expedition. Do you remember when they had those TV AMC shows called The Terror?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's about that.
Oh, okay.
So Franklin, he was the guy leading this expedition. This expedition had the HMS Erebus and the HMS Terror.
Such a sick name.
Yeah, baby. This show is fucking badass.
I've never seen it.
The show is good.
Okay.
Yeah. The show is good. It keeps you guessing. It keeps you engaged. You know? But this is like a big mystery at the time. Like it leaves, I think in the 1880s, and they just lose track of it. But this is at a time when these 1813. Yeah, 1813. Thank you, producer Nikki. And they just they lose track of it. Like people on the homeland, they lose track of it. But this is at a time when expeditions like this took years, right? So that's another whole nother episode is the Franklin expedition. But basically it's cannibalism, it's madness, it's the cold, it's fucked. But this painting, which was an homage to it, it depicts two polar bears eating human bones while they're ripping apart like the hull of a ship that's obviously shipwrecked. So that's the painting. So that's what it looks like. So there's like one polar bear and it's feasting on like a rib cage. And anyways, this thing hangs in a college nowadays. And the lore about it kind of starts in the 60s. So in the 60s, it starts off that the lore is, if you fucking do an exam in front of this thing, you will fail. But then it evolves. So then we get the urban legend, which is strictly an urban legend. They've talked to the school multiple times. There's never been any record of this. But this is the urban legend for it now, is that a young man jammed a pencil into his fucking eye and killed himself. But on his test, he had written, "The polar bears made me do it."
Whoa.
Right. So much so that the lore kind of surrounds this thing that the kids kind of get spooked through the years. So now wherever it hangs, if they're doing a test or something like that, they hang the Union Jack over it so that you can't see it.
It's still up at the college?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Pressure.
Pressure.
Academia.
Academia.
And it's pretty good because like they didn't find like the really hard evidence of like they didn't know where the Terror or the Erebus like went for a long time. They found like relics, they found some bones. They haven't found the actual ships until I want to say the 90s.
Oh, okay.
Maybe the 80s or 90s. They like a modern expedition found the remnants. That's just one. Are you familiar with another painting? It's called Mia Nova.
Mia Nova.
This one's a fun romp. So there's a guy, another artist, who painted this bad boy. I'm good. His name is Juan Luna. Now, Juan Luna was in the Philippines, and his wife was Paz Pardo de la Tavera. Right? So they're married. Juan is an extraordinarily jealous man. Extraordinarily jealous. And he keeps suspecting that his wife's having an affair. So one night he shoots her and her brother and injures her dad and kills her mom.
Oh.
And you know, they all die. I think the dad survived. They were
Lucky guy.
they were barricading themselves in like a hallway behind a door, and he just fucking blasted through that thing. So he goes to trial. They acquit him because at the time, the unwritten law was, you know, if she was unfaithful, then it was a crime of passion. So you get acquitted.
So, wow.
And they give you a fine.
What year was this again?
This was the 18. What year was this, Nicky? Look up Juan Luna.
Juan Luna. And where was this?
This is like 1860s.
Okay.
Yeah. This is in the Philippines. No, sorry. I'm lying to you. That's where they're from. They settled in Paris.
Okay.
So they're in Paris when this all went down. He went on to do more paintings and stuff. But anyways, the story goes that this painting is a portrait of her. Mm-hmm. Now, many argue that this is actually a model that he worked with before and that he neither had an affair nor murdered her. But people have reported it following them around rooms, that it will disappear from its painting. The woman will just be gone, right? And
like not physically the painting, but the woman
in the painting will be
wow.
gone. Yeah. It's fucking wild. That they just like they were just
and it's just the
let go.
paintings that are bad luck, right? So if I put all these paintings in the episode.
Oh, like the images?
Yeah, I'm not.
I don't think it works like that. I think you have to be close
okay.
to the bad boy.
Okay, because I don't need any mojo, some bad mojo.
Yeah. Talking about bad mojo. There's we have some, here in the States that there is lore around Pogo. There's many Pogo the Clown paintings that have reported strange effects. That's John Wayne Gacy.
Okay.
So he paints one. And there's a lot surrounding one of them because there's a suicide attached to it.
Is it his paintings or paintings of him?
No, it's his.
Okay,
he paints them.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a ton of them. It's not as crazy as you'd think. There's a huge market for that kind of shit, the serial killer memorabilia and stuff. But like, John Wayne Gacy was in there in the fucking 80s and shit is rotting away. And so like he kind of realized that. So like there's thousands of Gacy paintings. Like right now, if you were to pull like a Pogo painting up, you could probably get one for like $3,000. That's signed by him and the whole shebangy. I knew, what's funny?
What?
Is I knew a guy that had one.
Really?
Yeah, and guess what? Committed suicide. Yeah. That one was wild.
That'd be a pretty fucking unsettling thing to have in your fucking apartment.
I always thought that too.
Yeah.
I always thought that too. Like I get it. Like, you're fucking cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, like serial killer dude.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, me and you are
there's
pretty...
a line.
Me and you are like a couple of pretty edgy old men and like horror movies and, all that spooky shit. But like,
Right.
I don't know. I always thought the kind of like thinking serial killers were like cool is pretty fucking weird. Like these guys are like literally the biggest pieces of shit in the world.
Especially if you ever like actually kind of look at how There's like the monstrous version of them perpetuated by the media and themselves, you know, where they're these like larger than life fucking monsters, you know.
Yeah.
They're kind of like the Nosferatu guys, like how they want to see themselves, just like Lord of Darkness kind of shit. And then when you like look into it, and they're just like,
my mom was
like
mean to me.
sad dudes that couldn't get a date,
Yeah.
and then like the other half is just mentally ill.
Yeah.
You know,
My dad used to flick my ear.
yeah. Yeah. I love it. My favorites, and there's like some of them are so, like, you know, like Bundy was so attractive and smart, and you're like, I think the cops are just kind of dumb.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, we let him use the bathroom in the courthouse with the open doors, open windows and shit. Like you look into that one, that dude escaped 3 times. You think on the second one they'd be like, let's keep eyes on him.
Well, I've seen footage of like his court case and stuff where like even
Right.
the judge was like kissing his ass. Where the judge was just like,
you could have been such a great law student.
yeah,
That one,
yeah. And he's just like, but you went down a dark road, my friend. And it's just like, shut the fuck up.
the cannibalistic rapist, torturer, hyper sadist, serial killer guy because his girlfriend dumped him when he was in the Young Republicans Club. Fucking nerd.
Yeah. In some like, what was it, like a fucking brown Pinto?
Yeah, it was a beige fucking Volkswagen Beetle. Yeah.
Dork.
Yeah. They have it at that Museum of Death down in LA.
Oh, do they?
Yeah.
The Museum of Death.
Yeah. They had to change venues.
It's funny. I went to I was at a barbecue a few years ago, and there was a young lady who had just gone to like the Museum of Death,
Right.
and was like super hyped on it. And so
Yeah.
like in earshot, I got to like listen to her explain to like fucking 30 different people that she just went to the Museum of Death, and I was just like, fuck, dude, like you couldn't pay me to go to some dumb shit like that.
I know. I mean, there was a time when I wanted to go to it.
Yeah.
And then all it takes is like, to thank God for Google.
Well,
Because like you could like Google it and be like, all right, just scroll through those photos, and you're like, I don't want to fucking go to this anymore.
well, I do remember us on your bachelor party.
Yeah, they were closed.
Where no, not the Museum of Death, but me and you and our buddy that we were with, we went to the Hollywood.
The Hollywood Forever Cemetery.
The Hollywood Forever
That was
Cemetery.
dope.
That was pretty cool.
That was dope.
Yeah, but it was
I
just-
wanted to go to that because they're like wild ass gravestones and shit, and all the.
When your uncle's is there?
One of your uncles said the Hollywood Forever, like where Johnny Ramone is and shit.
I believe so, yeah.
That's tight.
Where Marilyn Monroe is and shit.
Yeah, that's tight.
I remember that. It's actually a crazy graveyard.
Yeah,
Like all the statues and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah,
And then-
Dude, Toto has like a 4-foot tall fucking monument to him. The dog from fucking Wizard of Oz.
It's just crazy because you look at all these like, you know, like was it Joey Ramone?
Yeah,
And like all the like these like rock stars and stuff that have like statues.
Fuck straight statues of them shredding.
and then you know, you obviously assume that that's like some like older stuff, but that kid that
The Russian kid.
that Russian kid that was
From
in
Star Trek?
that
Yeah.
died recently.
He's got one.
Yeah, he has a big ass statue.
Yeah, dude. That's how
Yeah.
they do it down there.
Yeah.
That's how they do it. My favorite too is like it doesn't even end with those statues. You think the statues would be like most of like the famous people and stuff, but there's everywhere you turn in there. Like I remember we were walking through one of those
Yeah.
big hallways, and it was like the indoor mausoleum part, and you just walk by like a square to like put your hand up to rest, and you're like, oh, fucking Mickey Mantle. This is fucking, that's Jesus. All
Yeah.
right. Okay.
And all these statues of like old couples holding hands and shit.
Yeah. It was dope. The whole thing was like, I remember the lady at the front was just like, first time? All right. She was like, she was great. She looked like a John Waters character.
Big old poofy hair.
Big old beehive and shit.
Yeah.
Here's your brochure.
Yeah, I've been working there since like the 80s probably.
Yeah, we've been fucking partying for the last like 14 hours. And
Yeah.
we were just sitting there depressed,
Yeah.
wanting to go home.
Yeah, let's just go home.
Couldn't take the beating anymore.
Yeah. Let's just go home.
So anyway, that's the Mia Nova one. And the John Wayne Gacy ones, they all kind of have some lore to it. I think the John Wayne Gacy ones are more like a despicable person did this. So it has kind of a little bit of a vibe to it, the aura. You're like, oh, you know that the guy that put the brush to paper also strangled 33 young boys. So allegedly.
I don't think that I think that's proven, right?
Well, he maintained his innocence till the very end there.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
There was a cop conspiracy.
Yeah, he said it was to derail his political career of being the fucking like the ROTC club chairman in fucking Ohio, Cincinnati, wherever the fuck he was.
Oh, it was in Ohio?
Yeah, weird, right?
Do you think it has some Frogman conspiracies attached to it?
It was just John Wayne Gacy.
It was John Wayne Gacy.
Fucking hopping around in a frog suit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, when he was still like spitballing the pogo
He's
idea.
trying some shit out.
Yeah. Yeah.
What'll scare my victims the most? He's trying the frog idea. Remember in Spider-Man?
Yeah.
He's just drawing out his fucking his John Wayne Gacy little smile on. Oh, yeah. No, we're going to find out. He was like, well, some of his victims he forced to wear these frog suits and go hang out on the roads.
And some fucking cops.
These two cops will be like,
some escape. Yeah, some kid escapes.
Yeah. What?
Some kid escapes in a fucking scuba suit.
Yeah.
And then a cop fucking shoots him.
Yeah, I don't even think most of the stuff about serial killers, like the stuff that fascinates me is like what they did other than what they did. Like John Wayne Gacy fucking, he like ran KFCs. That's wild to me. He just ran like 4 or 5 Kentucky Fried Chicken locations.
Had his own empire.
Yeah, dude. That's why they had to take him down.
He was getting too powerful.
He was
Maybe he was fucking leaking. Maybe he was leaking that recipe.
yeah, dude. Enemy of the state.
Yeah, I bet you it was the colonel.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Those 27 herbs and spices, he was putting them on the black market, and the colonel knew it.
That's an episode.
It's a fucking frame-up job if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, I think we should investigate that.
You know, he was out of town when they put them all in the fucking floorboards. Whatever. So outside of those ones, we get to one of the really fucking creepy ones. Have you ever heard of the crying boy?
Besides Nikki?
Yeah, besides Nikki. Yeah, besides Nicholas here. They're creepy as fuck.
The crying boy?
Yeah. All right, so 1911, right? There's an artist, is around turn of the century. He does all these paintings. It's weird because he has, his name and where did it go? Basically he goes by 2 other artists' names when he's doing this series of paintings, which are really fucking off-putting because they're all like toddlers or young children, boys and girls, that are just looking at you and weeping.
Do they have really big eyes?
No, that's a different guy.
Okay.
That's a different guy.
I was gonna say,
I know who you're talking about.
I'm like, me and Nikki have that. Used to have those.
No, these are like
still
oil
have it?
painting,
Yeah.
like photorealistic.
Oh, okay.
Like realistic-ish. Like I know the artist because one of our mutual acquaintances also has one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure somebody just had a bunch
Had
of
an original.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I had a print.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, the crying boy, what makes them interesting is super fascinating. So this fireman gets interviewed by a tabloid, right? And the fireman is like, dude, I just think it's super weird. We go to all of these burned down, like horrific fires, and across England, the only thing that survives are these paintings. Now here it gets even worse or gets even more kind of interesting. They're not the originals. This is a certain mass production run from 1951 that those are the ones that have the supernatural aspect to them.
Oh.
Those are the ones that survive the fires. The originals are all owned by different collectors, museums, whatever. He's not particularly well-known artist. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when it comes to art.
Yeah.
Like if it doesn't have anime titties, I'm pretty much out. But from what I gathered, he's not very well-known. But none of the originals have any of this attached to them. It's this mass production run. I thought it's fascinating because it's the only one I've come across where the original isn't in question. They are 100% mass produced. They were made to go into like dentist's office and stuff. And so they interview this fireman. And so science comes in and they have a pretty good explanation for it. So these things were all treated with a fire retardant varnish. And they say that if it's hanging up and the string is going to be the first thing, because these things came framed, they came like a mass produced, you just get it in the mail, hang it up in your fucking law office, whatever.
Yeah.
Bed and breakfast have them.
And it already comes with a frame and stuff, probably.
Something you'd find at like Pier 1 is like the level we're talking about.
Yeah.
And so the string on the back was actual string. So their theory is that's the first thing to burn, and then the painting falls and probably falls face down, protecting it from the ensuing fire, along with its fire retardant varnish. But that doesn't really stop the amount of cases, because there's dozens of these that are actually reported that you can like look up. Like one woman lost 3 of her children and her husband in this fire. The only thing that survived in the house was this painting.
Do you think she kept it?
No. After this dude gets interviewed, a couple other firemen come forward as they realize this is like pretty widespread across England. And so they start like getting all these interviews though. So that thing goes to the press in the Sun, I believe. The same paper that Johnny Depp sued for this pooping wife. Yeah. Whatever. I didn't follow it. What? I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, she's a fan of the show.
Yeah. Oh, well, all right. So, he probably deserved it. I don't know. Fuck. It's not my fault.
Yeah.
He fucking married fucking Steven Tyler's granddad. You see that meme? That's like Johnny Depp looks like the cool mom that let you drink at her house.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen that of Steven Tyler, where Steven Tyler looks like the coolest mom in the neighborhood.
Yeah. So anyways, the Sun starts receiving copies of this painting, right? All these people are freaked out, and there's a lot of death and destruction that follow the Crying Boy series. It's all dated back to this mass production run, and there's all these fires. A couple of them even happened in the States. They made it that far, but they start getting hundreds of these things. People do not want them, and so what people are coming up with, there's plenty of accounts of people just going in their backyard and fucking destroying the thing.
Whoa.
And then there's the mass burning. So the Sun newspaper holds a mass burning of all the Crying Boy replica photos that they've been sent in.
Whoa.
And so like they made a big fucking spectacle of us in the 80s, and they fucking burned a ton of these things. But it doesn't stop the lore. What?
Just this is ridiculous.
It's fucking crazy. Nikki's laughing at me over here.
I'm laughing at the mass burning of
Yeah, I know. It's crazy. The paintings themselves are fucking eerie looking, especially when they're very innocuous images.
Okay.
They're really disturbing images because you think like the first thing that kind of jolts you is like it's like a child in trouble. Yeah. And then you're like, oh, this guy didn't want his name attached to these, huh? Okay.
And it was a whole series of paintings.
Yeah. I think there's 20 different ones, 15 maybe. But they're boys and girls, but they're all kind of in that age range. It gives you this weird, like from the time period. I don't know if it's just me, but I instantly think of like the Alice in Wonderland dude and shit like that. I was like, there's probably some fucking ickiness going on with these.
Yeah.
Because these kids are just weeping, staring at you. And I don't know if they came from imagination. I don't know if he used models. Like I said, he didn't even put his own name to them. He put 2 different aliases on like 2 different sets of them.
Damn.
When they were released and stuff. Yeah. Yeah. It's not uncommon. Like a lot of people do that, especially if they find themselves a little fancier, like that, Thomas Kincaid.
Yeah.
I think he would release some under different shit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Like Dr. Seuss had a whole dark run too. He had
okay.
Yeah. All these like runs about his like depression and mental health shit.
Yeah.
And I don't think he used like his, the moniker.
Yeah.
Like,
well, he probably,
eggs and ham, and then this is my fucking depression.
Well, he didn't
fucking Lorax.
He probably didn't want it to hurt his medical career.
Yeah. That doctor.
Didn't want to get his license revoked.
Dude, I love it, dude. What a fucking pile of shit.
What?
Dr. Seuss.
Dr. Seuss?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know about him, right?
No, I don't know.
He was fucking stepping out on his cancer-ridden wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's having these gnarly ass affairs and shit. He's a fucking dirtbag.
Oh, shit. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. Sorry to fuck up the Lorax for you.
Damn.
Yeah, dude, he had a scummy side. Yeah. A lot of them artist boys did, dude. My wife tells me all kinds of horror stories because she studied all this shit. She went to college for art and stuff. And like, dude, art history gets a little wild. Dude, Pablo Picasso is a fucking monster.
Oh, Picasso?
Yeah, dude, he was like a womanizing prick.
Yeah.
Hell.
Well, yeah, wasn't there something that what's his name? Dali like hated women?
Probably.
You know, like shit like that.
Bro, he strikes me more as just like he's a real showboaty motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, you know, all of his shit is kind of like, you know, besides the art that he did, like all his like persona is very like, look at me. You know, he brings the anteater out and his fucking lobster. Whatever, you know. You're like, all right, I get it.
Didn't he make that crazy black and white film of the eyeball being cut?
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I've seen it. Yeah, you see it's in every like I remember House on Haunted Hill got a hold of it. Remember that movie?
Yeah.
Dude, 2001? Dude, that was back when they knew how to make them. Get me Marilyn Manson on the soundtrack, dude. Get me that fast. Remember that?
Oh,
dude?
yeah,
They love that effect.
Yeah. What was that other movie? The
13 Ghosts,
13
baby.
Ghosts. Yeah, 13
Dude, they're
Ghosts.
making a show, I heard.
Really?
Yeah. I love that movie, and I was a little tyke.
Oh, yeah. I saw that.
Yeah, dude.
I saw that in the theater. I
Yeah,
thought
it was so sick.
Super twizzy.
Yeah. You're like sitting there because you usually went with like your dad, like I did. I was like a younger kid, like, and I'm like in there, you know, and you see like the first one, and the first one they show in that movie is that big ass motherfucker in the junkyard. And you're like, yeah, this is tight.
Yeah.
Then you get to the house, and the naked chick comes out, the naked ghost, and you're like, this is the greatest movie that's ever been made.
I remember. The naked ghost really sticks out in my mind.
Oh yeah, 100%. She's just roaming around with a butcher knife. Titties out.
Yeah.
And you're just like, this Citizen Kane doesn't have shit.
Yeah,
on
I'm
this.
like, this is a pretty good movie.
Yeah. You're tiny little kid mind, just like, so this is the best movie that's ever been made.
What's his name? Who's in it? The star?
Fucking Monk.
No.
What, from Scream?
Yeah.
Matthew Illard.
Lillard
or Illard or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the main dude is Monk. The fucking.
You're right. It is.
Remember, what's his name? Adrian something, I think. But yeah, the Monk show.
Yeah.
One of my favorites, just because the sergeant, like the guy he works for, is Buffalo Bill. And he's like
he is,
cop
isn't he? Yeah.
Monk, what are you doing? What's the lotion in the basket, Monk? If you ever want a fun one, dude, listen to that guy's interviews, because he's just like, it's been wild, because like I'll just be at a urinal, some dude will be like, put the lotion in the basket, I'm like behind you. He's like, dude, I was getting money out of an ATM. He tells that story on he was on some talk show. And he was like, I was getting money out of an ATM like late at night, and from behind me, I just hear, "I'd fuck me, I'd fuck me so hard." He turns around. It's just some dude that's I'm a big fan. He's like, thanks. Away from me.
That song, that Goodbye Horses song, rules.
A fucking banger.
That song, Sue Lazarus.
Yeah, Q Lazarus.
Q Lazarus.
Q Lazarus.
R.I.P. Just passed away.
What?
Like last year, yeah.
Son of a bitch. We lost a good one. Fucking titan in the music industry.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, it was a lady.
What?
Yeah, it was a lady.
Get the fuck out of here.
It was a black lady.
Really?
Yeah, I think she was a one-hit wonder or something.
Shit.
But that song rules.
That song is so tight.
I remember
this goes back to the Cry Little Sister song too.
I remember young Nikki back in the day would put like a bunch of money in the jukebox and just like put that song on over and over again.
If I remember correctly, you had a fucking favorite in that time period too. Was that your fucking Reggaeton fucking face?
What is that? The MGMT? Yeah. All right. You know what? It was
Why?
Yeah.
You can imagine this cutie just fucking 50 grapefruit mimosas in, like standing in front of a jukebox.
Yeah, it was the early 2010s. What can I say?
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah. That's the crying boy. And they've gotten rid of a lot of them. You can still that's the thing though, is like they still like produce these. Like,
okay.
Yeah. I don't know about their arsonistic powers as of late, but like,
I wonder if it had something to do with the factory that produced them.
Like if something spooky happened there.
Like if something spooky happened there.
I mean, these things are so mass produced
Yeah.
at the time that it's kind of like, it's the 50s. So one, workplace accidents weren't as like few and far between as they are now. They were kind of like a normal part of life. And you'd see guys maybe missing fingers and stuff. I don't know how many heavy machinery we're talking about to mass produce paintings, but
dude, those
all these
industrial
printing presses
printers
and shit. Yeah. Like I worked in a print shop for a little while, like in my younger days, and some of that shit will fuck you up.
Yeah,
I used to work this big Heidelberg business card slicer. The fucking thing is a giant fucking razor blade that just comes down diagonally on like stacks of business cards that are like 4 inches thick. Damn. Yeah, dude, Nikki would love it. You want to throw politicians in that bitch and shit. Yeah. We'd have to change the blade. I remember one time we were changing it. It's like 3 feet long and like an inch thick that tapers down to a razor blade. And it bolts into this big machine. And we have to take that out. And now you're just holding this fucking razor blade. And one time I fucking dropped it and it stuck into the fucking concrete. It was like sticking straight up. You hit a corner and just stuck into the concrete.
Can you imagine that thing falling on your foot?
No, yeah. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Or Gavin Newsom's face, huh, Nikki? Look at it. You get all excited.
Yeah, some of that fake smoke's coming out of his ears
Oh,
right now.
fuck. Dog. God damn it. You had to do it, didn't you? You had to fucking, you forgot about it.
I did.
Yeah. Shit, it's fucking atmospheric. It's just like he hit his vape pen in
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Maybe next time we'll get a fog. No, we're not getting a fog machine.
Dude, can you imagine?
This tiny little fucking room.
Maybe if we ever do like a theme episode, like
a live show,
like a Halloween episode or something.
Yeah. We'll get spooky. We'll dress up.
Yeah, we'll do a live episode with our like 3 fans.
Yeah,
just sitting underneath my desk.
Right. I'll put you on my shoulders. We'll be Master Blaster.
Yeah, there you go.
Halloween. Oh, round by the town.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I got for some of the haunted objects. Like a lot of the haunted. Oh no! I got one more for you, but this is up there with your Frogman. This is the Dybbuk box.
I've heard about this.
Yeah, this one.
Yeah,
this one got really far before it was kind of like, oh, damn it. So it's a old wine cabinet, portable wine cabinet. And it first pops up in the 90s on eBay, a newfangled eBay. And basically, it has a story attached to it that this guy needs to get rid of it because it is home to a Dybbuk. It's a demon in Judaism. What'd you find the movie?
No, it looks like an old chaplain box.
Yeah.
I've seen chaplain boxes, like the ones they take out in the military and they do the last rite.
Yeah.
Oh.
Things.
Yeah.
Open it up and they have the
Yeah. To do your last rites and your communion.
I remember this one was floating around a lot on the paranormal podcasts.
Yeah.
I remember back in the day, I used to listen to a couple Australian boys called Mysterious Universe.
Okay.
It's like
I've listened to them a couple times.
Yeah, it's like one of the like really big paranormal podcasts
Yeah.
that have been around for like, I think they're on like season 25.
Yeah,
like,
they're good, man.
Yeah, they're good, but
Like we do.
yeah.
They meet up to our standard.
They
Episode 5 over here.
they do as much they almost do as much as research as us.
Yeah. Really stick their nose to the grindstone.
It's so funny. Anytime
They'll get there one day.
Yeah. You listen to them and they're like, I read this book for this episode. I'm like, no,
Yeah, you did a lot more than me.
no fucking way.
You did a lot more
Yeah.
than me. I will say the research for this one was pretty painful.
Oh, was it?
Oh yeah, dude. It's a lot of that Zach fucker, the ghost hunter guy.
Yeah.
He's insufferable and he's relentless, dude. He has a fucking little ghost empire.
Yeah.
Like holy shit. He's on like at least 10 different fucking TV shows and shit.
That's kind of one of the reasons why I make fun of this shit so much is just because of like how enthusiastic and how like they're just like, they're just like take it so serious.
The ghost hunting shows
are
have you ever seen like, so there's a couple in the early days, like I don't know if they just didn't edit it right or something like that, but they're like every once in a while I remember one, they're in this like abandoned building in like New Jersey and they're filming down this hallway, and they're filming with their fucking night vision, and they got their like broken fucking Walkmans out to get the EMPs.
Yeah.
And they're like walking around like Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And then they're like doing the thermal imaging, and like a fucking person just walks across the hallway, and they lose their fucking titties. Then they go down there, and it's just this fucking wino drunk. Like, what are you guys doing in my house? There's a couple of them like that where they're like, it turns out this one was like this guy.
Just a vagrant.
Just a vagrant.
Just a vagrant.
This one. Yeah, something tells me you got better at editing. We don't see a lot of those anymore.
Yeah.
Now, every time a door creaks, you're like, fuck, the evidence is all around us.
Yeah, I think it's funny too because like probably the vagrant is probably like the least delusional person in that room.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He's just trying to find a place to sleep it off. He doesn't need you fucking dorks running around with your cameras. So the Dybbuk box, basically, it relates to this story that this belonged to somebody in the Holocaust. And then from the horrors of the Holocaust, it was imbued with a Dybbuk, a demon. And it stays in the box, and if you fuck with the box, then the demon will fuck with you. And then it relates how this has been sold a bunch of times because people who own it experience misfortune, you know, and gets a lot of steam behind it. They made a movie with, what's his name from The Walking Dead, the guy with the bat, fucking Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that dude. Yeah,
the comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So sick.
Yeah.
So sick as a comedian. He crushed that.
Yeah, he was supposed to play. He played Thomas Wayne in one of those like Zack Snyder ones, and then I guess in the what is it, Earth 2?
Yeah.
Thomas Wayne is
Bruce
Batman.
was the one that
he
died.
He was supposed to like reprise his
Thomas
role.
Wayne's tight. He just shoots people.
Yeah, and he has the red
bat symbol. Yeah, dude. He just shoots people.
And then his wife is the Joker.
Yeah. What? How do you fight crime? You got 2 Glocks, baby. We cleaning these streets today. Commissioner Gordon hates him. This psycho blowing off other psychos' heads.
Yeah.
It's the ultimate Batman, you know. It's the ultimate Batman dichotomy there too. Like you could put the money into like schools and infrastructure, or you get really cool gadgets and beat the shit out of mentally ill people that think they're clowns.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because I remember that being kind of like a weird
I'm not talking shit, by the way. He's my favorite fucking superhero. I just think it's, you know, it is funny in a 2025 setting.
Yeah.
Where you're like, you could build some schools. And he's just like, or I could get a plane and fight this fucking penguin guy.
Yeah, I think that
fuck him up around the Iceberg Lounge.
I always hear stuff like that, like especially on the internet about Batman, where they're like, "Oh, he could have just like helped the community," blah blah blah. But I think that
sure, then there's no comic book.
But then it's also like Gotham City is supposed to be so corrupt.
Yeah, it's supposed to be the worst like urban environment on
yeah.
You know, but I digress. This has been a fun one.
Yeah.
This has been super fun. So anyway, the Dybbuk box gets a bunch of steam. They make this movie called The Possession. I definitely suggest that you do not watch this. It's a fucking train wreck of a movie. And basically, you know, Jeffrey D. Morgan, he gets it at a yard sale and he fucking gives it to his kid, and his kid starts fucking around with all the shit inside of it, and a demon possesses her. Hence the name of the movie.
Okay.
And then years after, the original guy that made the eBay post copped to it and was like, you know, I just fabricated that whole thing. It's an old wine cabinet that I've, you know, got. I think he got it at like a Goodwill or something like that. Chocked it full of tchotchkes from around his house. There's like a little costume jewelry ring in it, a little cup, shit like that. Just eerie enough. And then he just completely wrote like a creepypasta in the description of like an eBay purchase. It's fucking genius.
Do you think there's a bidding war?
There has been for it. Yeah. There has been. After it like initially sold and then it sold a couple more times or whatever, like there's been bidding wars for it because this is before he like came out of his hoax shit. Like before he admitted to it, there's been bidding wars and stuff. But those people were pissed.
Damn. Dude,
it's fucking genius when you think about it.
I should do that for all the Warhammer stuff I saw on eBay. I should say it's haunted.
Yeah. Yep.
You might.
The only thing these things are haunted by is the image of you fucking pulling your pud in here.
Yeah, my
You're
chaos
shell-shocked little Chaos Marines.
my Chaos Space Marine army is haunted.
So you need to put them all in like one kind of box. There needs to be like a central thing.
They're in a cardboard box.
There you go. Yeah, there you go. It's haunted.
Yeah.
You guys want it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys want? You sell it to that fucking dildo that has the ghost hunter guy.
There you go. Yeah, yeah.
God, what a fucking
Zach
tool,
Baggins?
man. What's up?
Is it Zach Baggins?
No. Who the fuck is Zach Baggins?
Isn't it Zach Baggins?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Nikki,
Yeah.
Is it Ghost Hunter?
Yeah.
Zach.
look it up. Google it. I'm trying to hold him to it,
Yeah.
dude. The wife has some critiques.
Yeah. Who's the Ghost Hunter?
It was like, you guys asked him to Google
Yeah.
shit.
Like Baggins.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah. It's working.
Yep.
Producer Nikki.
Producer Nikki. He's getting.
It's your fucking idea.
Yeah.
That's what gets me too.
Yeah.
Is like at some point you were like, you should bring the fucking aerosol smoke.
Yeah. I thought we could use a little ambiance around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's spooky. Yeah. Yeah. So after the guy cops to the exhibit box, people lose kind of all real interest in it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it resides with a guy who finally just bought it and has it in his house. And he has reported no such paranormal activity. It was what was crazy about doing this episode was the doll portion. It really how new it is. Like you would think that we'd have like stories of haunted dolls or something that at least go back to like the 1800s.
Yeah.
Like, nah, dude, it was like the 50s. People got really like there was a couple Twilight Zone episodes that featured kind of a possessed doll, and after that, like things started popping off, and then of course the Warrens, like anything they touch becomes
Urban legend.
yeah, just super in depth, demon ridden fucking shit. Like anything they go near, you know, like the Conjuring farmhouse and stuff. Because I'll get more into some like haunted locations, which. Even that's a little hard because they were in everything, man. Like everything besides like cryptid shit. Like the Warrens didn't fuck around with too much of the Bigfoots and shit like that or aliens, but like any paranormal stuff,
Psychic stuff.
fuck, dude, they've been to England. They're in like everything, and they call them cases, but it's like you've had thousands of these grifts going on. Yeah. The Amityville one's crazy because the guy that wrote that book was basically working with them. So they came along. It looks like they come along after this guy writes the book, the Amityville Horror, which again has the corroboration of like a family who is really in like deep on this house, wanted out of it. And like this story kind of evolves from that. And it just so happens that they got it for cheap to begin with because of the family annihilation that happened in there. But once the Warrens get around, it becomes like #1 bestseller. They get to go on the talk show circuit, like the Warrens talk show circuit.
That was in New Jersey, right?
With the Amityville.
Yeah.
It's in Amityville.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Like their talk show circuit. You could watch this shit you could watch 25 hours of them just on the talk show circuit.
Yeah. Like on Donahue and all that shit back in the day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Robert the Doll too. Like he's been, like a lot of this has like a real kind of, snake oily kind of grifter kind of feel to it. Like they're always going on like the person that owns it this time is like taking it on Maury. Robert's been on Maury a couple times, and it's fun.
Okay.
It's fun.
Well,
Yeah. Did you see Maury fucking popping off on Twitter, by the way?
yeah, I saw about the
chick?
The chick. Yeah.
Yeah, dude. That
Yeah.
shit was so funny.
Yeah.
There's been some OnlyFans chick that banged like 1,000 dudes in 24
yeah,
hours.
and I guess
she got pregnant.
she's pregnant.
And he tweets. She announced it on Twitter, and then Maury tweets, I'm stepping out of this one. Oh, like, damn, dude, Maury's savage.
Hey, you know what? Hey, man.
That's fucking
She-
terrible.
I know, right?
She's just a modern day Warren.
Yeah, dude. He's like, no.
Yeah.
No, we're not getting involved with this one. Dude, and Maury is like too rich for my blood.
Yeah.
It's bad. I love all those talk show guys. I want to do an episode about them, all their nefarious ins and outs, dude.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll really piss off. We can piss off old Junior. Shout out. What's up, Junior? We can piss him off. Just do a whole thing about fucking Montel and fucking Kamala.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Friend of the show, Junior.
Yeah, friend of the show, Junior. How you doing, bud?
Yeah. America's sweetheart.
Yeah. Sorry, it's too political for you. We'll work on it.
Yeah.
We're working on it. What are we at, Nikki?
What are we at?
A little over an hour.
Oh,
Little over an hour. I think they were good.
I think we're good.
That's haunted objects, or at least the ones that I wanted to talk about.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, guys.
It was super fun. It was fun getting through the crust.
Give me a list of all those things so I could post them in the episode.
All right. There.
All right. Well, folks, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Catch you all next time.
Later.